I really wasn't planning on weighing in too heavily on this whole MrBeast drama that's blowing up, calling him demonic for his newest video about curing 1,000 people's blindness. Because I feel like the only people that are going super hard on this, making a big hoot and holler, calling it demonic, are people who are terminally online, like a Twitter prisoner, their soul trapped on the platform, forced to tweet 50,000 tweets a year, and pretty much find every possible thing to be upset about. I'm still just not convinced there's any real, breathing, sentient people that actually have these thoughts outside of Twitter. I think Twitter, for some reason, acts as like this exorcism to bring out the dumb demon within everyone. It's extremely easy to go on Twitter and say the stupidest shit imaginable and never register how dumb it is. I don't know, that's just the Twitter brain rot in a nutshell. It's very easy to do things on there and feel like you're being productive, like you made a mean tweet or you complained about something, thus you're improving the world. Anyway, I'm already getting lost in the sauce here. I'll break down the situation. MrBeast made a video a couple days ago where he paid for people's life-changing surgery for restoring eyesight, giving them eyesight for the first time. It was a very big video. Performed extremely well, tons of views, but it also spawned tons of controversy, which isn't surprising at all. I'm sure everyone saw that coming. This wasn't a shocking revelation. It was about as surprising as learning that poop smells bad, because everything is controversial to someone, no matter what. And I know this has been said a million times now, but it is the truth. If MrBeast made a video talking about how he found the cure for cancer and is giving it away to, like, for free for everyone, forever, there would still be a large group of people online that would be comparing him to the Antichrist and saying he's only doing it as a selfish means and it's exploitative. Like, we've reached this point where everyone has to be mad about something, no matter how positive it is. It's pretty much a giant fucking parody of civilization at this point when it comes to how Twitter responds to shit. But anyway, he makes this video, he pays for all of these surgeries, and he gets blasted on Twitter for it by a large group of people. I'll just go ahead and bring up probably the biggest tweet that people were talking about. It's this one that talks about it being demonic and not being able to explain why, which is always such a beautiful argument. This thing sucks, but don't ask me why, because I can't explain it. It just does, because everything sucks to me. Fuck everyone and fuck everything. Everything's negative. It's a really great point that they're making here, but anyway, this led to a large discussion and people debating, is it even a good thing what he's done here? So let me weigh in here. Here comes MrBeast's unpaid PR guy coming out. I think it's a good thing. I think there's a lot of good arguments to be made about the state of medical treatment like this. How 1,000 people could have had life-changing surgery if they were just born wealthier, or if they were a bit luckier with their financials. If they just had a good spawn in life, they could have been able to afford this life-changing treatment and been able to see. But it's been paywalled, and they couldn't afford it. And the only way they were able to get it is because MrBeast wanted to make a video out of it. That's a very real problem. But it's a problem MrBeast didn't create. He's not the supervillain puppet master behind the scenes making these treatments unaffordable. This is so weird to target him. It seems very misguided instead of going after the actual issue at the core of all of this. The gift of sight shouldn't be something that you have to fucking be lucky enough to afford. Treating vision like some kind of DLC paywall package is so fucking awful. A lot of people criticize this because he made a video out of it saying, well, you could have just done this on your own, which you could have, and I always agree that that's a very fine thing to point out. I've always agreed that doing good deeds in private is far more genuine and authentic than doing good deeds for the sake of public brownie points or reputational benefits. A YouTuber making a video, giving homeless people money for 12 hours challenge. Impossible. It's like, oh, that's kind of fucking weird. But I've also always maintained the stance of, yeah, the motivation may have been selfish, but those people did get money that is no doubt going to be helpful for them. So it's a good deed done by a less than good person. And the thing with MrBeast is, he does do a lot of great shit for his community in private. So when he does do these public displays of doing good things, I never get the impression that it's inauthentic or coming from a place of trying to, capitalize on the back of suffering or anything like that. Like, of course, you can obviously tell it grows his brand, so it is mutually beneficial. Him doing good deeds does also benefit him, maybe not financially, but in terms of like subscribers and all of that, it does help him. But both things can be true, that he could be genuinely wanting to help people while it also helping himself. But I feel like MrBeast, given his track record, has shown that he does these things to hopefully inspire others, and the money he makes from this content usually goes into other things that help other people, like MrBeast philanthropy, for example. So it's always fueling a greater good regardless. But something that is important to point out is that, yes, it does grow his brand. He benefits from this. Even if it's not financially, he obviously is going to take a huge net loss on this because of the price of these surgeries. His brand does grow from it. But I ask, is that a bad thing? For so long, people have called for positive role models to be the people that are successful and popular. And now you have someone like MrBeast, who is the biggest YouTuber, and almost all of his content is focused on improving other people's lives, whether it's directly through financial incentives, through MrBeast philanthropy, food kitchens, paying for 1,000 people's eyesight. Isn't that the exact kind of content you would want to be successful? Let's hop into the septic tank and play around in the shit takes for a moment. Let's say MrBeast is truly rotten to the core and everything he does is driven for selfish gain, of growing his brand and all of that. No matter how you spin it, 1,000 people in this video just had their lives improved for the better. And let's say other selfishly driven assholes watch this video and they see the amazing amount of views on it. Well, they might do the same thing. 1,000 more people get their blindness cured by another YouTuber who wants a ton of views. Also, real quick, MrBeast didn't find the cure for blindness. It's not like he was digging in his backyard, found buried treasure, and it was just like this fucking panacea to cure blindness or anything like that. He is paying for surgery that currently exists. Just wanted to quickly clear that up real quick, just in case anyone keeps seeing these headlines and are convinced that Dr. Beast came in here and found some kind of wild blindness cure. But anyway, it doesn't even matter what the motivation behind the videos or the act is, because no matter how you spin it, there's the immutable fact that 1,000 people just had their lives improved for the better. Even if MrBeast is the result of a fusion dance between Darth Vader and Doctor Doom, it wouldn't change the fact that 1,000 real people just experienced a very real improvement in their life as a result of them making that video. Which in my opinion is a good thing, and I feel like most people should feel the same way. There's plenty to be mad about with the core problem here, which is these people should have already had access to this treatment without MrBeast needing to make a video on it. That I completely agree with. But that doesn't make me mad at MrBeast for doing it. That makes me upset at the system that's currently in place enforcing that. That is the issue, not what MrBeast has done. And I'm so fucking tired of hearing this term poverty tourism tossed around when talking about MrBeast. It just shows such a gross misunderstanding of what that even means. To try and slap that label on what MrBeast does is so fucking off the mark. The worms in your brain must be suffering from parasites. Like, there is so much wrong in your noodle to possibly even think for a second this could be considered poverty tourism. You know what is poverty tourism, and something that a lot of YouTubers have done and is exploitative, is the people that go to, like, when Phidias went to the poorest country in the world, and it's just showcasing, oh, look at how poor they are, and treating everyone there like props for his own video. That's poverty tourism, and I will fully agree that there are cases of people trying to emulate MrBeast, like the example I just used, Phidias, and just completely missing the mark and ending up making a video where it's just, hey, look at all these poor people. Wow, they're so poor. Can you believe they're that poor? Maybe we should do something? Like, that's an issue. Yeah, that content sucks. I don't support that. Fucking nobody supports that. When Phidias posted that video, he got dunked on by everyone on the internet. It's not something people like. But what MrBeast does, I think, is very far removed from poverty tourism. Now, there is one very legitimate complaint directly at MrBeast that I will agree with, and it's the thumbnail. The thumbnail is weird. I definitely think this is one of MrBeast's weirdest thumbnails here. It's like alarming, almost. Like, there's like 1,000 words told in this single picture here, and none of them make any sense. So yeah, I think the thumbnail is very odd. But yeah, thumbnail aside, I think what he's done is a good thing, obviously. And I don't really know how you can even justify through mental gymnastics why it's bad and why you hate him for it. It just doesn't really compute with me. What you're actually mad about is an issue he had nothing to do with. Again, I don't think people should have to rely on a YouTuber looking to make a big video in order to get life-changing surgery. That is the issue. It's not so much the YouTuber that pays for that surgery. That I think is just, no matter how you spin it, a good thing for the person. I'm really tired of people speaking on others' behalf, getting offended for other people that they're not involved with and they don't know. I've seen a lot of people attribute feelings to the 1,000 people in these videos, saying, man, they must feel so used and exploited. They must feel so violated that Jimmy used them here for a viral video. Well, I'm going to make a counterpoint. What the fuck are you talking about? Do you know them? Huh? Was that you in the video? Your family member? Your friend? I doubt it. Highly doubt it. How are you going to speak for them? How are you going to be mad for them and try and tell everyone what they were likely experiencing? I would wager a guess they're experiencing a high level of happiness. I bet they were thrilled to have eyesight. Would be my guess. So yeah, anyway, that's really my take on the whole situation. I think this drama is one of the sadder ones I've seen in quite some time, because I feel like this is just something most people should be celebrating. Like, hey, the biggest YouTuber is doing good things, as opposed to degenerate shit, like most people online. I think that's something to be happy about. There's 1,000 people whose lives have just been improved. I think that's a good thing. Like, I think that's a big thumbs up. There are issues you can talk about as a result of this, and there is a really good discussion to be had about, like, the actual core thing regarding the surgery and the cost of these kind of procedures. I think that's a good conversation to have, but I don't know why it comes back to MrBeast being a bad guy for paying for the surgery. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. That's about it. See ya. MrBeast just dropped a new video where I compete in a big old game, but that's playing second fiddle to the drama it just spawned with me in the center of this singularity here. It sent Twitter into a piranha-feeding frenzy here, with me getting spaghettified in the middle of this black hole of drama. So, let's make like a package and address it. It's this clip right here.
What's up, bro?
Hey, nice
How are you, dude? I like your videos, dude.
I appreciate it.
I know you've talked some shit, but...
Everybody hates Logan Paul. Is everyone around Logan just a fucking idiot?
I'm always super happy that people don't take it personally, man.
I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
thank God.
I understand I'm a and I appear to be a bro. Good to see you, bro.
And also, Prime's pretty fire.
Thanks.
I'm not allowed to say it on camera.
I get it, bro. I get it, bro. Talk, bro.
Good luck today, right?
Yeah, likewise, bro. Likewise.
People are already lining up with the pitchforks, lit torches, and spit out apple juice about how fake I am and how I folded in front of Logan Paul in person, cowering in fear, piddling my little britches. For some reason, the biggest part about that is what I said about Prime, which is like, oh, Charlie's super fake, he shits on Prime online, but in person, behind the scenes, with the mask off, he actually loves it. I'm not sure if this is people maliciously lying about me, like Pinocchio, or if they just genuinely don't know, or maybe heard something that was wrong, but I've never shit on Prime. I've actually only ever talked positively about it on stream or in videos. Me saying it's pretty fire, but I can't say it on camera is literally the simplest joke ever, like a water cooler joke at work. I've talked about it on camera numerous times. Anytime I've ever been asked about it or have made a video where it's been a subject, I've always mentioned that I actually think Prime's pretty good. Like, here's a quick example from a video I made a year ago when there was those like wakey wine scams or whatever about Prime. All just to get their hands on some Prime. I've had it before because in the States it's not rare, it's not hard to come by. I could walk outside right now and find like an unopened pallet of Prime. It's really just in the UK that this hysteria is sweeping the entire nation. It's going absolutely crazy there. So I've tried it. I think it's good. I have no complaints. But I certainly wouldn't be beating some ass and being that desperate to get my hands on a bottle. And I still wouldn't. You wouldn't catch me running around like a fucking Frankenstein's monster trying to hunt down a pallet of Prime. But it's good. And I've always said that on streams and in videos, so I don't know where this narrative is that I've shit on it publicly, but behind the scenes I'm actually like an addict injecting it into my veins or lying to Logan Paul about it. I've always consistently said I actually like Prime. I think it's pretty fire. So I don't know why that's something that's sticking. Like, I prefer gamer sups, obviously, but that doesn't mean every other drink that's a competitor is bad. It's not. But now let's get to that second part where Logan Paul's spiritual pressures sent me to the floor like it was right out of the Bleach anime, and I was just trembling in fear to confront him directly. So, this was filmed a month or so ago, a little over a month ago now. Since then, he is now apparently suing CoffeeZilla. Either Logan or someone on his team is suing CoffeeZilla, which is a massive fucking L. That is brain dead activity for sure. But when this was filmed, that wasn't happening. What was happening was he was publicly trying to make amends with the victims of his CryptoZoo scam that he butt-fucked them all with, and as far as I know, he has been paying some people back, and at the time was still in the process of paying people back through whatever, like, program he set up for it. But there was none of this lawsuit going on, and one of the first things that he said was that he actually deserved all of the shit that he got for it, for all of the mistakes that he made. Ludwig was also there, someone else who was shit on Logan Paul, and Logan was saying something to a similar effect there as well, from what I recall. So at the time, he was in the process of trying to fix all the dog shit that he put innocent people through. And when I talked about this on stream and in the videos about CryptoZoo and what was going on with it with the updates, I had always said, as long as the victims are made whole again and they get their money back, that's a happy ending. But Logan is still a scumbag for ever doing it in the first place, which is something that he also said he deserved everything he got from doing that. So, I have always said as well that I never harbor hatred for someone who will actually change. There's nothing to gain with just holding a grudge forever. That's childish. If someone is actually willing to learn and grow from things, I'm more than willing to break bread with them. Logan Paul was very respectful of not only all the other competitors, but all of the staff at the event as well. So when he reached out to say hi, I was more than willing to be receptive and mature about the situation. He immediately opened up about all of the problems that he had caused and how regretful he was. So what would be the point in me getting there and just spitting on him if he's actually going to start being less of a piece of shit? That's the whole goal of calling someone out, so that way they can learn from it and not be that insufferable asshole anymore. Of course, fast forward to the current episode of Dragon Ball Z, and apparently he's suing CoffeeZilla, or someone on his team is, which brings me to that other statement that's floating around that video where I called everyone around Logan a fucking idiot. And that is super true, because I don't know who the fuck Logan Paul surrounds himself with, but it must be actual lobotomites, because I don't know who would sign off on Logan suing CoffeeZilla. But at the time, that wasn't happening. All that was happening was him seemingly actively trying to fix all of the things that he fucked in the face. Now, as for the not taking things personally statement, I've been very consistent with that from the very beginning. When I make a video about something, it's usually just for the sake of making jokes or being goofy about it, so I never really want whatever I'm talking about to be taken in a personal level or as anything like that. Though that does vary on a case-to-case basis depending on how serious the topic is, because I've absolutely crossed over the line in making things much more personal than they probably should. But usually, I try and just keep it more surface stuff about why something is bad or whatever happened, whatever they did is fucking stupid or whatever. A great example is The Manny Show. I recently made 2 videos about The Manny Show's fraudulent copyright strikes, and The Manny Show just made a response video a couple days ago where they took full responsibility. They explained that they hired a monetization manager who kind of went rogue and started striking channels against The Manny Show's will. Once they learned about it, they immediately fired that person, and they just took it all on the chin, took full responsibility, and made no excuses whatsoever, and even addressed all the videos that were made about The Manny Show, saying that it was all warranted, and that they understand that it came from a place of just trying to look out for the ecosystem. The Manny Show doesn't believe in censorship, and it was just a really good response overall, and The Manny Show didn't take it personally. Even though what I was saying was very mean, for sure, like it definitely wasn't nice. I didn't exactly have the soccer boppers on. I was going fucking bare knuckle with some of the things I said about The Manny Show. They still didn't take it to a like personal offense or anything. Another great example is FaZe Rug. FaZe Rug was in this competition as well. FaZe Rug, I've also made a couple videos on making fun of. Absolutely. And FaZe Rug actually reached out like a year ago to talk about like, you know, hey, I hope you don't hate me, Charlie. Like, I've watched your videos on me as well, and I want you to know, like, they actually made me laugh. And in person, FaZe Rug kept that same energy. He was a super nice guy who was talking about, like, yeah, that shit was kind of cringe, and the things you were saying made me giggle about it. And that's how I always want it to be when I make a video covering something where even the protagonist who I'm making jokes about can watch it and not be mad, but instead be entertained about it. And hopefully not walk away from it thinking that I have this burning hatred for them that will never go away. Now, in Logan Paul's case, it is a little bit different, because with the dead body situation as well as the CryptoZoo scam, I definitely did get far more personal than just like surface level jokes, talking about him being like an actual piece of shit, surrounded by sycophant pieces of shit as well, that just continue to enable horrible behavior. But at the end of the day, all of it was geared towards a goal. In the CryptoZoo scam, getting everyone paid back and explaining why it needs to be paid back and is a horrible thing. So Logan Paul taking that and letting it not be personal but instead constructive is the best case scenario there. Not just for me, but Ludwig and everyone else that's called Logan Paul out, which was like half of the fucking competition, by the way. So it's just, I don't see why this ended up being a huge drama thing, because all of it's consistent with all of the shit that I've said on stream for like the last 6 months with Logan Paul. Since CoffeeZilla's last update on Logan Paul and CryptoZoo with the refunds, like where's the refund and where's all the money, following that and talking about it, I have maintained that as long as people are paid back, that's what matters. And as far as I knew, there were measures being taken place that were getting people their money back. That's a good thing, and hopefully Logan Paul can learn from this and this kind of shit won't happen again. All of this should really be nothing new. Here's another quick example about me always being willing to talk to or at least engage with people that I have called out on a personal level. The Sneeko beef, the medium rare beef that I had with Sneeko that lasted for a while, culminated with me actually getting in a call with Sneeko and talking, person to person, about all of this shit. Just hashing it out, well, not face to face because, I mean, obviously it's through the internet, it's the fucking cyberspace, it's not face to face, but it's the same thing. We directly talk to each other. So meeting Logan in person and him wanting to talk about this, I was more than willing to do, and he was very respectful, took full responsibility and accountability in person, so I was more than willing to be mature about this and talk to him as a human being. I don't see why in any circumstances this would be perceived as being two-faced. I did this most recently with Sneeko. Before him, it was that person that was calling me a deep state, new world order chill or whatever, brought him on the podcast to talk it all out. Like, it's something I've always done and always will be willing to do. I think it's very childish to just plug your ears and say, boo, 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 not listening to you, whatever, and not engage with someone that you have an issue with. And again, this was filmed over a month ago when I wasn't privy to any new dogshit behavior from Logan. This lawsuit with CoffeeZilla is new. So I couldn't call him out on it or anything like that. So I don't know what else to tell you other than this isn't anything new. I've always been more than willing to talk to and be mature with people that I have called out and had grievances with in the past, as long as they are willing to engage with me and be mature about it as well. And Logan was. So yeah, overall, great MrBeast video. I lost and also got thrown into a ton of drama, so that was pretty fire. That's about it. See ya. There is no YouTuber more emulated than MrBeast. He has more impersonators than Elvis. If MrBeast was a Halloween costume, he'd be outselling Spider-Man and Batman combined. There are so many clones of MrBeast in these days, it's like he's done a shadow clone jutsu, but every shadow clone that exists is just a worse version of the original now, and they're getting more and more degenerate. Today we're about to talk about an Italian MrBeast clone who recently just did a stunt that ended up killing a 5-year-old child. Now, this isn't just one person emulating MrBeast, it's a group called The Borderline, and in their About section on YouTube, they even name-drop MrBeast saying how inspired they were by his content, and they want to have that level of success as well. So, if you go to their channel, you'll immediately see the MrBeast influence. They do basically the exact same content, even copying the thumbnails pretty much, doing the classic MrBeast hand, the one where he's like coming out of the grave like this. Like, they even do that, you know, like Emperor Palpatine shooting lightning out of his fingertips for the thumbnail. Like, that kind of shit, they just immediately lifted from MrBeast in order to try and suckle on the bosom of his success. And it's working. MrBeast truly did figure out the online content creation formula. Copying MrBeast is a cheat code and fast pass to success. They've got massive engagement as well, for fundamentally just being a carbon copy of whatever MrBeast is doing. It reminds me of that old gag you used to see in cartoons where someone hops up on a photocopier and just keeps, like, printing up copies of their ass cheeks. That's what this channel did. Anytime MrBeast did a video, they did pretty much the exact same video, but since they're not English speaking, they get a different corner of that market that doesn't have the MrBeast videos being served to it. So it was a pretty smart business model. It just so happened that they were also extremely stupid douchebags that, for some reason, decided that it would be a good idea to risk the lives of everyone around them for their most recent video, which was spending 50 hours in a rented Lamborghini. Now, I called this a stunt in the beginning because that's what a lot of people are calling it in the media. This isn't a stunt, like just being in a car for a long period of time. That's called a fucking road trip. Most people can do that without killing somebody. But these assholes are so unbelievably reckless, dangerous, and dumb that they ended up having a head-on collision with another vehicle that killed a 5-year-old child. And it's entirely their fault because they were speeding around, driving recklessly like they were on the fucking set of Fast and Furious, and the big shtick that they were doing with this challenge was insulting other drivers and taunting them. That was one of the big things. They would taunt other drivers during all of this and filming in the car. So it's pretty clear that they were distracted driving and were being extremely dangerous and careless on the road, which led to this fatal car accident. Now, this is the driver of the vehicle who was behind the wheel during the crash, but he was not the only one in the car. The rest of the crew was also present as well, and it seems like they were filming all of this garbage, which eventually led to this crash. So he was the one driving, but there is a video from one of the other members here right before they got into the Lamborghini for this challenge.
Ah raga, sta macchina va più veloce di Saetta McQueen. Che cos'è una Lamborghini e c'è vinco la Piston Cup? Andiamoci sopra, Jessica! Ma questo con la smart che sta facendo? Ah bello, la macchina tua costa 300 euro usata al Conad, la mia costa 1 miliardo, vale quanto Amazon.
I found this clip in Scott Schaefer's video, but I couldn't find the original upload of it anymore. So you can clearly see the attitude of what the video was supposed to convey. Just shitting on all of the other cars in the road because they're in an expensive luxury car for 50 hours. That was the whole video premise. Wow, what a banger. I too remember the classic MrBeast video where he went around calling everyone poor and making fun of them and spitting on them from the comfort of his luxury vehicle. That one's timeless. That's iconic MrBeast moment right there. I also find it impressive how he actually just looks like a douchebag. You don't even have to talk to him to know that he's extremely obnoxious. I went to look at a bit of their other content because I couldn't imagine he actually just sounds like this normally, because his voice sounds like 15 chain smokers all did a fusion dance together and then inhaled helium. Turns out that's exactly how he sounds. In his little MrBeast copycat group, he's just the one that is always screaming and making goofy faces and goofy voices. What a fucking loser. Now, according to authorities, what happened is the Borderline crew went to overtake a car at high speeds and then had the head-on collision with this vehicle that had a mother and her children in it, which unfortunately led to the loss of the life of the 5-year-old boy. The Italian Prime Minister came out and said that they will be losing their license for life during this investigation, and then said, if you're a repeat offender and take a person's life because you are a jerk behind the wheel, you don't see your license for the rest of your life. It's not like I suspend it for a few months. Meanwhile, other Italian lawmakers say the 5 YouTubers involved should also immediately have their social media account access taken away. And that's a picture of the mother and the 2 children. Now, I don't know if it's just a cultural thing, but I feel like the word jerk here is not nearly a strong enough word to describe this evil group of douchebags. Maybe jerk is like a really strong word in Italian culture, I don't know, but I feel like jerk doesn't really quite capture just how awful these people are here. This is a ridiculously dangerous thing to do, fucking driving recklessly while taunting drivers and filming everything inside of the car. Distracted driving, like what the fuck? Like, that's not the behavior of a jerk. A jerk is someone that like double dips in the salsa at a Super Bowl party. This is an absolutely reckless danger menace to society. Like, this is a piece of shit. This whole group, they're pieces of shit. Now, they did post this video yesterday, which is just a still image letting everyone know that the Borderline, you know, the band's breaking up here, basically, after this tragedy. And that's kind of where that's at the moment. It's still all under investigation as of right now. But man, it is fucking horrific. Taking the life of a 5-year-old boy because you were so clout hungry that you came up with this dumb challenge, which is a stupid challenge, by the way, of just staying in a car for 50 hours. That's really boring. But then not only that, you took a boring challenge and then made it dangerous by driving like an absolute asshole and putting everyone's life at risk on the road. And unfortunately, it did take a life. So it's just, the whole thing is terrible. Now, the next thing I want to talk about here isn't necessarily pertaining to the story itself, but just more so the group as a whole, the MrBeast copycats. I just find it so interesting how different times are, where the dream job for a lot of people growing up, a lot of young people, is to be an internet content creator. And this desire for social media attention is worth dying over or killing over. Like, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. Unfortunately, it won't be the last either. Because as people get more and more hungry for these internet points, they get more and more extreme with the shit that they do and film to try and get the attention. And I just find it so fascinating how different that is than when I was growing up. Times have really changed in a big way. I remember growing up in elementary school, they would ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And most kids give, you know, the very standard answers of, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a firefighter. My answer was I wanted to be a professional basketball player and a professional football player at the same time. I thought I could really be the next Michael Jordan, but instead of baseball on the side, I played football on the side. And make no mistake, I was close. I was right on the cusp of achieving that goal, that glory. But unfortunately, the Lord had to nerf me, and I never got my growth spurt. I stayed 5'6". But imagine the athletic specimen, the weapon I could have become if I did get a little taller. I was so close. But the point is, that's really changed. Nowadays, most kids answer that question with, they want to be a YouTuber. That's like the #1 job occupation kids dream of. And for this group, they were living the dream. By all metrics, they were extremely successful. But they just kept getting more and more dangerous with the shit that they were doing for this viral fame, these viral videos. And then it led to this awful situation. It's just fucking sad. I have no sympathy for the YouTubers here. It is entirely their fault. They're old enough to know that what they were doing had very real risk involved, and I just feel horrible for the mother and the surviving child. This is a traumatizing experience that I have no doubt will most likely haunt them for the rest of their lives, and I'm wishing them nothing but the best here. But yeah, fucking awful situation that I just wanted to talk about a little bit. That's really about it. So yeah. I don't want to give anyone a heart attack here with shocking information, jump scares, so this is your fair warning. Cold water is coming your way. I am not a survivalist. There. I said it. It's out in the open. Let that stew marinate in it a little bit. I could not survive in the wild no matter what. If I was born 400 years ago, I wouldn't have lived to see my 10th birthday. I would have probably died in the jungle from being mauled by an animal or starving to death. And the most embarrassing part of starving to death for me would have been I probably would have collapsed, keeled over, died right in front of a ton of edible berries that were completely safe for consumption, but I'm too much of a hypochondriac to have even tried. But even knowing all of my shortcomings here, and also knowing I'm short, I'm not a pussy. So when MrBeast issued a challenge to me to survive in his wilderness for 24 hours, with a smile on my face, I said, you bet your sweet bippy I'm gonna be able to do that. That should be pretty easy. That's child's play. 24 hours, I won't even die of starvation, and I brought a bunch of water. So, bare minimum, I'll at least be alive. Maybe not in the best condition, but I would have survived, I would think.
What's up, guys? I'm Moist Critical, and you're watching a 24-hour camping challenge.
Yep, we're gonna be sitting here for 24 hours.
He's gonna be sitting here with his friends.
So MrBeast posted a video a month ago where he had 2 strangers live in the forest on his property, and every day that they survived, they got $10,000. They ended up making it over 70 days and made a ton of money from it. And when watching the video, I thought it looked pretty manageable. Like, I'm not great with my hands other than a nice, beautiful 3-point basketball shot, but I still thought I could definitely do that, especially because I wasn't doing it alone. I still had all my friends with me. So I was ready to get my hands dirty. Me and the whole squad here were pretty eager to do this, and we even wanted to do a little cryptid hunting on his property because North Carolina has, like, some beautiful cryptids, apparently, like the Boojum, apparently, which is a cryptid, like a really giant hairy thing, kind of like Sasquatch, but with a fascination for precious metals and women, apparently. So I was like, that's awesome. We can catch the Boojum while camping out on his property, drinking brewskis, because it's going to be easy.
See you at the 24-hour mark. Need anything?
Nope.
Good.
Bye,
if you
Jimmy.
die, am I liable?
Nope.
All right, what if someone broke a leg?
No, that's fine. We have coverage. You're good.
Okay.
You're so good for lending us.
Then with that, have fun, boys.
Bye. I don't ever want to go back to civilization. It's so good.
This is like we're
here?
playing Minecraft.
Yeah, no,
it's easy.
This is like Rust. I played Rust.
All right,
We're camping.
Yeah, so we're camping. We got a checklist to go through.
Turns out It's not easy at all. So the whole video of this experience is on the other channel. I'll put a link to that in the description if you want to see the whole thing. I'm just going to show you some of the highlights, if that's the word you can use for it. It's really kind of lowlights, because from the very beginning, we couldn't do a single fucking thing correctly. So it's not just me being incompetent in survivalism. It was everyone. We take life for granted. If we didn't have houses, I feel like at least 60% of the population would die off within a month, because surviving in the wilderness is not easy, especially on MrBeast's property. When I watched that video, I also expected that the forest that they were in, the wilderness, was like heavily catered to be safe, you know, like no bears, nothing dangerous or anything. I thought it was like really bougie and, you know, it wasn't that difficult. Well, it turns out it's just fucking God's country out there. It is actually just untouched jungle. So we were surrounded by coyotes, an unbelievable amount of other wildlife and insect, all kinds of dangerous shit all over the place. It was so fucking hard.
How's he doing?
That's some big wood.
That is some big wood.
That's some big wood, and he's making smaller wood exactly like we need.
Charlie, do you think you're the best camper?
Yep.
All right.
Don't let my appearance deceive you. I know I may look like a vampire lumberjack, especially in that beautiful attire, but I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I know how to chop wood. In fact, fun fact, I actually practice wood chopping motions by using a sledgehammer on a tire just for cardio. I actually really like hitting a tire with a sledgehammer because I think it's great cardio. But unfortunately, we didn't have the classic meaty axe. Instead, we just had this little one-handed hatchet here that's just like a little fucking toy. When Roanoke settlers disappeared, following their trajectory, they would have landed right here in these woods.
Huh.
They could still be out here.
So look out for little eyes peeping back at you when you're looking in the woods.
This is what it's all about.
This is what it's all about. In big city living, sometimes you forget where we came from. It's good to go back.
And sometimes, you know, it gets so bright out there you can't see the stars.
Yep. You can see them today, though.
Yep, look at them up there.
Yeah, chemtrails.
You get them all?
Mm-hmm.
Show them one more time.
Good thing we're about to get the fire going.
We want a stick.
You're doing pretty good for a man who's never made a bow drill.
I think you've got it.
The fact that we can't even do it with a flint and steel makes me think we're never going to do it with wood.
Yeah, no, for sure, never.
Yeah, but I watched a tutorial on how to do it with wood, so we'll get it.
We need way fluffier tinder than this.
Well, who's on shrubbery duty? I think you are now.
What the fuck?
It wants to light. It told me. It said, please.
It's starting to smoke.
You have spark with no fire? Well, that's what men do.
Sunlight soon.
Oh, that was so good.
Whoa.
You got it, Danny.
Magic hands.
You got it. You got it.
Magic hands.
Hot hands, Danny.
And you can do anything.
2 hours later.
I think you get in the next 10.
I think so too.
I've been thinking that for a long time.
7.
You got this, brother.
6.
Oh, there's smoke. 3, 2, there it is.
This is the one. Oh.
We went through the whole tech tree on how to make a fire there. So we initially started with just hands and stick. Chase gave that one a whirl. That wasn't getting us very far. We then had Matt working on a bow drill, which that never even came close. Caleb then started working on a bow drill. That got a little smoke for a second. We then went to flint and steel. Still couldn't get the flint and steel to work, which is probably the most shameful thing imaginable. But the problem was all of the sticks, all of the things we were using to try and catch fire were kind of damp, because it must have rained a little before we got there or something, because everything was still kind of damp, so it wasn't lighting. So we started trying to put like paper on it and other things that were flammable. Like, as I was fucking firebending with the flint and steel, nothing would ignite. Danny sat there for like actually 30 minutes straight, just constantly shooting flames at it like a goddamn Charmander. Still nothing was catching fire. So eventually what I did is I just ripped the sleeve off of my flannel, threw it on there, and had Danny light that, which finally worked.
Yeah, another shirt.
That counts.
Wait, don't blow.
Yeah, let it.
Don't blow anymore. Okay.
Wait, you're smothering it.
No, I'm getting the pininess above it. Danny!
Good work, Danny. There he is. the man who brought fire to us, Prometheus.
You cannot see
me. Can't see you. Can't see you.
We need to feed a lot of fire because it'll burn out really quick.
Literally everyone that did something.
Hey, and don't forget Charlie's shirt.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it is hot.
Guy. Of course I've got a
Success, Charles. Now we can start making chairs.
Yep. All right. Where's my axe?
It's so funny in Minecraft. It takes like way less time.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Where's our snow thing?
I've been mining this whole time.
Yo, let me go find what that noise is. I'll make an XP farm for us.
Remember that time that Danny worked himself to the bone to give us this beautiful fire? Yeah. Now we just need furniture.
We do need furniture.
Like
Those are so
bright. Getting hit by like 5 stadium lights.
People watching my Chef Boyardee.
Mine's off. That was cool. You pinched myself in it.
Charlie, how are the chairs coming?
Well, I can't see anymore.
What I didn't factor into the equation is just how dark it gets when there's not street lights. Like, that goes without saying, obviously, but you never really experience pitch black darkness in, like, city living. Like, you really don't. There's always at least something giving some kind of light somewhere. Out there, you can't see your hand in front of your face if you're not right in front of the fire or have a light source. So it became almost impossible for me to even try and make little seats, which I don't know why I thought I had the ability to do that. There were some big logs there. What I was going to do is just chop through them to make kind of like a flat surface out of them to set down. But when it became that dark, that no longer became a possibility unless I did it like on top of the fire and like burnt myself, just singed my skin for it. So it wasn't worth the effort anymore. What we ended up doing is just rolling over some big logs and using that to sit on, or using like coolers that we had brought.
What are we actually doing out here, Charlie? We're hunting the boojum.
Sometimes
the boojum.
Now, initially, I imagined this going much smoother. I didn't think the fire would take over 2.5 hours to start. I also didn't factor in how hungry everyone was, so it ended up just eating a bunch of hot dogs around the fire for like another hour or so. But the idea was to kind of take a page out of the Mountain Monsters playbook, or not Mountain Monsters, what the fuck is the name of that show? Mountain Men? Mountain Monster Men? The group of people that go out and hunt cryptids in the forest, and they use all kinds of whatchamahoozits to try and catch them. So we brought a bunch of like cryptid hunting gear, as well as even like paranormal ghost hunting gear, like EMF readers and fucking spirit boxes, if the boojum wanted to communicate through the radio, I suppose. But what ended up happening is we took so long with everything else, we didn't get a lot of quality time cryptid hunting. I don't want to spoil how the video ends, so you can go see the full thing on the other channel. Again, there's a link to it in the description if you want to see what this cliffhanger is here that I'm leaving you on. But I swear to God, it doesn't do it justice just how perilous the situation was at the time. So, I don't want anyone to think that we're cowards for how the video ends. It really was actually not safe, I don't think. Anyway, we didn't catch the boojum. We never even came close. Our cryptid hunt only lasted maybe like 10 or so minutes before things just got out of hand. So, anyway, I just want to talk about this a little bit and just give strong appreciation for the two guys in that MrBeast video that made it 70 days out there. Granted, they didn't stay in the location we stayed at for the whole time. They did move, and I think that was probably for the best, because where we were at fucking sucked. Like, we constantly were hearing coyotes. There was just nothing to even, like, grab that you don't have to, like, hike through a swamp for. It was miserable. We ended up using their hand-me-downs for a lot of, like, the materials. Like, a lot of the wood we were using was some of the wood that they were using back in the video. So we ended up just, like, reusing some of their shit. We even grabbed their fishing lines to try and fish. So, like, we found, this thing of wood they made with fishing hooks on it. We used that to try and catch things as well, to no avail. Like, it cannot be understated just how impressive what they did is. Especially now after we tried to experience it as well. It's fucking brutal. Anyway, though, just want to talk about this a little bit. MrBeast almost got us killed. Also, when I ripped that sleeve off of my shirt, my left arm ended up getting eaten, just absolutely fucking feasted upon by every bug in North Carolina. I hated that. That was awful. That's about it. So, yeah. You may remember a couple of years ago, MrBeast and Mark Rober teamed up to launch TeamSeas, where they planted 20 million trees with the help of the entire community. And today was a big day because they teamed up yet again, the Avengers assembled once more and launched TeamSeas, which aims to remove 30 million pounds of trash from the ocean and they've called upon the community to help them yet again. And much like the Powerpuff Girls, I answered the hotline. I love a good cause and I love to help. If you want to help, I'll put a link in the description below. It's $1 donated equals 1 pound of trash removed from the ocean. Now, when I first heard about the project, I wanted to do something big, like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking fly a blimp with a giant fishing net dangling from the bottom and pick up 100,000 pounds of trash myself and fucking manhandle that and throw it on the landfill or something. I'm gonna do my part. But that's just not reasonable. That's like a supervillain kind of thing. Like, that's not a realistic idea. And we couldn't exactly just unsupervised go clean up anywhere in our area because we live in Florida. Most of the trash here is actual Schedule II controlled substances. Like, the trash on our beaches isn't like water bottles and bubblegum wrappers, it's narcotics. So we can't exactly just go like fucking handle that. We'll just get arrested for it. So instead, I just wanted to do a video here telling you about MrBeast himself. I want to break the magician's code and tell you about Jimmy off camera. You might remember a month ago I was invited by Jimmy to come up and play poker against him in a high-stakes $50,000 buy-in. And I got lucky enough to slap his cheeks around on the table and walk away with 50 grand. There was no smoke and mirrors. I genuinely did risk and win that money against Jimmy. And that's the first thing I want to talk about. Whatever you see in a MrBeast video is legitimate. Unlike Santa Claus, this is real. He doesn't cut any corners, even when it would be really easy to do so for the video. Like for the being buried alive for 48 hours, he could have easily just been down there for like an hour tops and then just made it seem like it was 48 hours, just have people do a bunch of different things, different times of the night. But he doesn't. He was literally there for that long. And no one could have like proven him otherwise if he just said it was 48 hours but was only there for an hour. Like, what are you going to do? Go to the site and check the soil, run a chemical analysis to make sure there was really a coffin down there for that long? Like, there'd be no way to prove if he didn't do it. But he does it because he is the most genuine, authentic man I've ever met. Being around MrBeast was like a literal inspiration to me, an experience I've never had before. If Jimmy had popped his titty out and told me to suckle, I would have done it without hesitation. That's how moved I was. There is nothing misleading in his videos. He is a genuinely positive and just great person. Like when he gives a car away or a house away, there's nothing attached to that. There's nothing shady there, no strings attached. He covers everything, so that way they never have to pay like a dime on owning it or anything. You know, it's not like, I think it was Oprah, she gave away like a car and then bankrupted the person who received it. I don't remember the whole story, not to slander her. Sorry if you're watching Oprah. Don't remember the story, but the point is, Jimmy covers all of it to ensure that whoever won the item can just enjoy it and not have to worry about anything. Like, he just goes the extra mile on everything. It's incredible. Like, it is actually incredible. One thing that I often see when people talk about MrBeast is they say that he only does these nice things on camera for video views, and off camera there's no way he's helping anyone. And to that, I literally spit on you. Because that's a bunch of dog shit. That is a whole dog's ass. After going there and seeing it firsthand, MrBeast lives his whole life just helping other people. I was fortunate enough to visit the warehouse where MrBeast and Darren ship millions of pounds of food every month to their community. It was something like a 50-mile radius of that warehouse is receiving food from MrBeast and Darren. That's entirely off camera. It's just MrBeast, Darren, and his team helping out the community around them, getting food to people that need it in the area. And it's entirely done off camera because Jimmy has such a passion for helping other people. He doesn't just help people for YouTube videos. He is doing it full-time, all the time. It is truly inspiring. And he treats his team like family, not just like the core crew you see on videos like Carl, Chris, Chandler, and them. He treats his entire crew, everyone around him, no matter how small their role is in the MrBeast brand, he treats all of them like friends and family. Like, we played a pickup basketball game with just a lot of people that he works with, that he considers good friends, because everyone is treated so well. He really does just all the time look out for people and want the best for others, and does everything he can to ensure other people are happy. I've never been someone that like idolizes someone else or like fights someone else's battles, unless it's like Brendan Fraser or Keanu Reeves or something. But with MrBeast, I have never seen someone use money like he does. He uses money not for himself, but for everyone around him to help them be happier or get them things that he thinks will make them happier. And I don't know, it was just something so like awe-inspiring, like truly. He was such a genuinely honest, nice person. And I feel like a lot of people have this impression where if you're doing nice things on camera, you're probably an asshole off camera. And yeah, for some people that might be true, but for MrBeast, fuck man, he might even be like a better person off camera. Like, it's actually incredible. I mean, shit, there was one time where we went to a place where they were filming a video and a nearby tree had to be cut down for the video to occur. And in response to that tree being cut down, he planted 100 more or 1,000 more or something crazy like that in the area nearby. Like, so he felt so bad about having to cut down a single small tree nearby that he put a ton more in its place because he genuinely cares. So anytime you see MrBeast doing something like Team Trees or right now TeamSeas, it's coming from a genuine place of passion. He really wants to make the world a better place, and I think he absolutely is every single time he's posting these incredible videos and doing these amazing things with the community. So I'm always super happy to be involved. Now, Mark Rober, hey, he could be a wild card. I don't know anything about Mark Rober. All I know is one time William Osmond tried to call him when he was over at our warehouse, and Mark Rober didn't answer. So take that for what you will. I bet Mark Rober's a great guy as well, but I can tell you from firsthand experience, MrBeast is an incredible guy. There is nothing fake about that man, and I just wanted to share that because since doing the poker tournament, poker match, a lot of people wanted to know a little bit about like what Jimmy's like off camera, because I feel like, you know, he's not the kind of guy to say anything like this about like some of the incredible stuff he does for his community, but I'll tell it for him. I'm like that dad who's really proud of his son, except my son is significantly more successful and just like a fucking better person and everything than me. So, and I'm also not related to him at all. So more or less, I'm just like a super fan, like I'm a K-pop stan for MrBeast. I just wanted to share that because I was truly blown away by that trip. If I had to think of one negative thing about MrBeast, it's that he got me addicted to gambling. Now I just think about poker pretty often, like I want to start playing more poker, and that's probably a very bad thing because I got very lucky in that poker match against him. But yeah, that's like the only like negative thing I could even think of. The guy is truly just a class act, and I just wanted to share that. TeamSeas is yet another incredible project that MrBeast is a part of, and what he and Mark Rober are doing is just amazing. I think it is a truly fantastic thing. So if you're interested, click the link in the description below. Every dollar you donate is a pound of trash removed from the ocean. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah. No one likes Twitter. Twitter is trash. We all know this. It's not a hot take, and it's not exactly brave. No one's going to sit there and like applaud me like, hey, Charlie's really finally saying what everyone else is too afraid to say. No. Everyone knows Twitter is probably the worst social media platform to ever exist. The more you engage with Twitter, the more likely you are to throw yourself into an oncoming train. But just like everyone else, I become a little zombie and check Twitter every now and then just to scroll through and see what's going on in the world and the people around me, what's going on with all of them. Twitter's a lot like my asshole. It's stinky and full of shit, but I can't help but play with it sometimes. And this morning I got up and I checked Twitter, and something just immediately made my day worse for having read it. Twitter is the real-life equivalent of the chapter black tape from Yu Yu Hakusho. This is an obscure turbo weeb shit reference, but in Yu Yu Hakusho, there's something called the chapter black tape, which is just a collection of all of humanity's most horrifying moments. Just this phase montage of like war crimes and horrible, horrible shit. And when someone watches that tape, they begin to hate humanity and are convinced that they're not worth saving, that humanity doesn't deserve to survive. That's what Twitter is. But instead of like showing you horrifying crimes, it shows you horrifying takes and convinces you that the world is too stupid and humanity's not worth saving because we're too fucking dumb. This is the tweet that really greased my ass first thing this morning that I want to talk about. Hot take, but I feel once you've reached this level of wealth, maybe you should be using said wealth to benefit the impoverished and not use it to recreate a show that is a direct critique of the exact thing being done here, but hey, that's just me. This is in reference to MrBeast and his upcoming Squid Game video. This is not a hot take, this is a dumb take. This is what scientists call posting cringe on main. This is a stupid fucking statement. Squid Game, the actual show, cost $21.4 million to make. That money could have been used to help the impoverished in the community, but it wasn't. It was used for entertainment. Interesting. It decides to critique society while also participating in it. Very curious. It's critiquing something that it is directly benefiting from. Interesting. Why didn't they point that out in this tweet? The $21 million for Squid Game the show is a lot more than the $2 million MrBeast is spending. Why didn't they mention that? It's weird that they focused on MrBeast, who is well known for helping a lot of people through his videos and the money those videos make. What's interesting is, the Squid Game money and all that that's generated for Netflix will never go to helping people, but MrBeast making this Squid Game video and the money that will make will directly go to food banks that MrBeast owns and helps people with. So they chose someone who is literally going to be helping people with the money the Squid Game makes, instead of the Squid Game itself, which was 10 times what MrBeast spent and will never help anyone in the community. And I'm not saying the Squid Game team has that obligation and they have to use the money in that way. I'm not here to control how they spend their money, but Twitter certainly is. This user seems to think it's MrBeast's responsibility to use his wealth in the Squid Game cost to help the community around him, but why isn't that responsibility also shared by the much more expensive actual Squid Game? It's also just a dumb nothing burger of a statement that can be used for literally anything ever. It boils down to MrBeast spent a lot of money on this video, which could have been used as a donation. You can say that for movies. Why do we even have movies when the money spent making those movies could have been used for a donation instead? Why do we have music when the millions spent producing those albums could have been used as a donation instead? The user that posted this might be married. Why did you spend $10,000 on a wedding ring when that could have been used as a donation instead? You don't need a $10,000 rock to prove you love someone. Why not just donate that money? It's just something that is silly and can be said for everything. Targeted at one of the only wealthy people in general who are constantly helping the community and people around him. I made a video recently talking about MrBeast. I'm not his fucking PR manager, but he's one of the only genuine wealthy people that are constantly doing everything they can to help other people. You only have to scroll 3 tweets on his Twitter to see this massive food drive he just did to help the impoverished and people around him. But I'm going to go ahead and again focus on the stuff he does off camera real quick, because a lot of people critique MrBeast saying he's only doing this for attention and views. They can't wrap their head around the idea that maybe he actually just likes to help people, so they just try and attack this made up idea of who he is. He's only doing it for views and attention. I'm again going to focus on his off camera stuff. I got to see that massive food warehouse, and that food warehouse also has a massive refrigeration unit that allows them to do more than just non-perishable canned goods. It allows them to do vegetables and cold products as well, and it's an extremely rare thing to have because it costs so much. But MrBeast went the extra mile with his food bank because he wanted it to be able to serve his community in the best possible way. And this is like a full-time job that he has, running that food bank. He also has that MrBeast's philanthropy channel. I sound like a fucking advertisement for this guy, but I really suck his dick hard because he is exactly the kind of wealthy person people have been begging for, and he's still getting shit for it. That MrBeast philanthropy channel, 100% of the revenue that makes and the brand deals all go into that food bank, which is serving his community. He is doing like millions of pounds worth of food to his community every month, and he is running this every single day, and he is still getting steamrolled by 12-year-olds on Twitter as if he's not doing enough. All of this being done off camera, and no matter what, it's a lose-lose situation on Twitter. If MrBeast shows these things, then people attack him for being a fake, he's a fraud, he's only doing it for attention and views, and if he doesn't show these things, well then they don't exist and everyone's lying, he's making it up. No matter what you do on Twitter, it is a lose-lose situation where no one will be pleased. Twitter's a platform that is only there to be negative, bully, and shit on things no matter what, because that's the most engagement. That huge fucking dopamine hit of the extra 5 hearts on your shit just makes that cock rock hard, baby. That's what makes me so mad on Twitter, is that no matter what you do, it's never enough, because Twitter's a platform that is just made to reward shitty takes and dunking on people, even when it's just completely wrong and misguided. People are just there on Twitter to bully each other, and they try and like out-perfect each other. So they use this idea of perfection, like in this take. If I had this millions of dollars, I would obviously be donating it to the impoverished, but I don't, so I'm not responsible to help anyone. It's MrBeast's problem, time to dunk on him. Now let me spread these cheeks a little bit further and dive in. The user who posted this awful take has 16,000 tweets on their account. That's a lot. I have like 300 hours total on Twitter scrolling, and I only have 2,500 tweets. So let's just go ahead and be really generous and say they have doubled the amount of time I've spent on Twitter. So they have 600 hours worth of Twitter scrolling. There's so much more you can do to help the community than just donate money. You could have spent that 600 hours volunteering at a shelter, helping out at your local food bank. You know, there you could have donated your time to helping your community, but you didn't. You chose to whine and complain on Twitter for 600 hours. Why is it only MrBeast's responsibility to help the community? Don't you also have that obligation? You're choosing not to, and I'm very disappointed. You're taking this road, and it's not just this person. I'm singling them out because this is the tweet that really, it tilted me a bit. It had me fucking inting down mid lane. Like, it was actually pretty upsetting to read. Everyone wants a wealthy person who's extremely generous to the community and doing things to help the community. And we have that with MrBeast, and he is still getting shit for it. Blows my mind. But anyway, this user is not the only one that thinks this way. They all cast this facade that they are perfect. And if they were only rich, they would save humanity. But the thing is, they're not doing anything currently to show that. This user, who is getting upset at MrBeast for not doing enough, is also doing nothing. Even though there is so much more they can do than just donating money. Like I said, there is so much you can do that isn't just financial to help the community, and they're not doing it. So why the fuck are they gonna get mad at MrBeast, who is doing both time and money constantly for the community? He is not just blindly throwing money at charities that do nothing. He is making his own organizations that are extremely efficient at it. Like, what more could you possibly want? He is doing it full time, off camera, because he is genuinely just trying to help people. And he is still getting blasted on Twitter because he spent a lot of money on a Squid Game video, where the money from that Squid Game video will most likely directly go into his philanthropy, which will in turn help a lot of people, and still getting shit for it. Twitter is a platform that just keeps you stupid and makes you dumber every time you log on to it. Everything has to be negative, even when it's like a genuinely positive situation, for no fucking reason other than just some cheap engagement and internet updoots. This was a horrible take, and so many people retweeted it, commented on it like, yes, preach, this is what I've been saying. Just donate the money instead of make a video out of it. Come on. Like, it doesn't make any sense. They could say that for everything. Instead of making movies, why not just donate all the money that the movies would have cost? There's a pretty big brain idea. Why not just do that? Why don't musical artists just donate all of the money their concerts make to charitable organizations instead of spending money on terrible art to put in their home? That's a genuinely good question. The art that they buy is terrible. You might as well just get rid of that money instead of spend it on fucking Damien Hirst pieces. Point is, it's a stupid take. Like, this was a dumb tweet that a lot of people agree with, and I see this kind of thing all the time. And it's especially silly when it targets someone who is actually doing all of the things Twitter wishes people would do. MrBeast does everything that Twitter wants other rich people to do, and it's still not good enough for them. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because Twitter is and always will be and always has been an absolute dog shit platform. That's about it. So yeah.